Good evening. Hi there. Anyone there? It's Nicole. I'll take a couple of seconds just to see if anyone joins me. I see one person's joined me. Not sure who it is. If you want to say something, you can. Happy Wednesday. Good evening. Hope you've had a great day. I just wanted to pop on. Have a question. I'm in the process of reading a book called The Demand Principle, and it's by Peggy McCall. And I have a question. Do you know, or do you believe that whatever you can conceive in your mind and believe, you can actually achieve it? Ah, you may say, how can that be, or how is that possible? Well, I'd say, great question. Um, and that is so. You see, within the laws of nature, anything that we can conceive, then they can actually occur. And so, in reading the book, The Demand Principle, sorry, she talks about this whole process of how we can actually achieve what it is that we desire. And first of all, it comes through a desire. There's actually going to be 4 steps in the process of achieving it. There's going to be desire, and then there's going to be deciding, and there's uh, dedicate, and the fourth one is demand. So there's the 4 steps: desire, decide, dedicate, and demand. And like I said, within the laws of nature, whatever it is that we desire, we can have it. And every day, people are using this principle to bring about things in their lives and living very fulfilling lives. And so I just wanted to share because I don't know, you may be someone who's stuck and your life may not be going in the way or direction that you desire it to. And so I just wanted to just share a little bit about what I've been reading. And so the key, though, is to know what it is that you want without a shadow of a doubt, and then also demand it in a certain way, and then demand more of yourself. So it's knowing what you want, demanding it a certain way, and then also demanding more of yourself. So it's not pie in the sky. It's not you just trying to wish for something. It's you knowing exactly what it is that you want. Now, it could be almost anything, but a lot of times we get stuck in that process because it may be something that we consider to be far-fetched, and the first thing that comes to mind is, how can I make it happen? Or how is it going to happen? Or I don't have the skills to do it, or I can't make it happen. There's various thoughts that immediately pop into our mind when we have desires or things that we'd like to achieve. And the goal is not to focus on how it's going to happen, because that's not for us to know. The key is, and the biggest question to ask is, do you really want it? So if you really want it, then that's when you go from desire, and usually it's an intense burning or it's something you really, really want to do. And then you go from the desire to deciding, yes, I want to do this, I'm going to do it. And so you make that decision to do it. Again, still not knowing how it's going to happen or even the timeline in which it's going to take place. but you make a decision. Yes, this is something that I'm actually going to do. And once you do that, now it could be all sorts of things that come up, circumstances change, or things that get in the way. And the key is you've made the decision, so you're going to move forward. And when it comes to dedicate again is putting that time in, knowing what it is that you want to happen. There could be things that you're actually doing and stumbling blocks that are taking place, but that's where, when I look at dedicate, I also look at it from the perspective of persistence. Because you've decided that that's what you want to do, then you persist in whatever it is that is. And this, as I said, this principle applies for any area. It could be with regard to getting a job or a particular career. It could be in terms of getting a house. It could be in terms of relationships. Any area of your life, it can be applied to. And so the key is, again, knowing what you want, because when you know what you want and you've made that demand, a demand is making an insistent or preemptory request. But when you're making it, you know that you're actually going to receive it without a shadow of a doubt. You don't know when, you don't know how. You know you're going to get it. And so with that, you actually are acting as if you've already received it. And so from that perspective, we're able to have gratitude, thanksgiving, because we know that it already exists. It may not be in the natural, but we already know that we have it. And so with that, then we can also, the next step is to demand of ourselves. So with demanding of yourselves, if I can use the example of a want, I'm building growing a business right now. And so the key is going to be, for me, is to be, one, excited about what I'm doing, to know what it is that I'm doing so that I can share with people excitedly about it. I can actually talk about it on a day-to-day basis. I can contact people and share what it is that I'm doing, but also recognize that it's not going to be for everyone. And so I have to realize that I can talk to 200 people, and of those 200 people, there may be one person who's interested. There are going to be people that say, yes, I'll listen, I'll come and hear it, or let's schedule something and not show up, or they'll listen and we think it's going well, and then they say, yes, I'm interested, but then they don't, or it could be any number of things that happen. But the key is going to be, if that's something that I want to do, then I stay focused and not looking at the negative results or what I perceive to be as negative results, because actually we grow more from our failures than we do from our successes. So looking at each area that, where there's been what could be perceived as a failure, and saying, no, that's not a failure. How can I grow from this and continue on? So, demanding of myself will be continuing to do what I need to do, whether it be presentations, whether it be talking to people, whatever it is, and then continuing that process. And then in chapter 4, she talks about, suspending disbelief. Is the title. And so it's suspending disbelief. Regardless of what's happening, I'm good. I know without a shadow of a doubt that it's growing. It's I'm prospering. I'm having the time of my life. It's exciting. All of that is happening, and I'm grateful for the process. And regardless of what I see that's happening, then because the reality is that when we have things going wrong in our lives all the time. But some of that is because of our thoughts, the things that we have going on in our mind. We're saying we have all this negativity. I can't do it. It's not going to happen. All of that. And then with that, we have our emotions are high as well. And so we're actually causing situations to actually take shape. Well, if we don't like what we're getting, we can actually change it, and we can actually take the opposite of what we're doing, if or saying, and then we can, instead of saying, okay, well, no one's going to show up, I'm so happy and grateful that everyone that I talk to is super excited about what it is that I'm doing and are interested. And so it's taking what it is that you want, demanding of it in a certain way, and believing that you've already received it, celebrating it, and standing firm without a shadow of a doubt that it's already received. And just continue to celebrate. So that's a little bit about what I've been reading, and I just wanted to share it. So I hope you have a great evening, and God bless you.